What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's pulling up. Let me see who we got in the place to be. My guy Marvin Lewis is in the place to be, man. King Gibby, Derek Panson, Mackin and Mobbin. What's up, man? My guy. Triple 20, man. Got Marvin Lewis in the chat. You damn right, man. My guy, East Coast gritted it darn. What it is, man. Always in a place to be. Skylar Millsdale, Gotti got it. What it is, bro. Let's go, bro. If we shore up their offensive line, we can do some things, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, yo. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And this show has been powered and brought to you by BetUS, the fast and easy deposit in the industry. 150% on your first deposit, 125% on your next two, all with code YouTube50. Y'all going over to BetUS, and this show has been powered by BetUS. Now let's get to the biznai of Raider Nation right now, y'all. Look, the injury report came out. We got a lot going on. We heard a little bit about Tyree Wilson today. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys were wondering what's going on with Tyree Wilson. We signed 2 new players since I've been on the air. I'm sure you guys have heard, but I haven't given you my spill and piece on it. Oh, man. Got to get hydrated, man. We got almost 150 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I saw the press conference today. AP looked like he was in a lot better spirits. He got us some news. He got us the injury report. I will read that to you now. You know what I mean? I mean, and the Raiders and the Ravens are in the same boat, man. They're 0-1, lost their season openers to their bitter rivals. And, you know, it's time for somebody to get off the snide. Now, I know there are a lot of people who think this is an unwinnable game. I think it's going to be tough for the Raiders to get this dub, if I'm being honest. But I never think, like any given Sunday, man. And I don't think we're that far off from competing with the big boys in the National Football League. There's a few things we got to shore up. We got to shore up that offensive line and shore up the play calling, which are 2 humongous issues. Don't get me wrong. But it's not freaking impossible. They can be beaten. They can be beaten, man. They can be effing beaten. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, there you go with the hopium again, wasted. But you know what? If I'm nothing, I'm logical, right? I see a way for us beating them. I also see a way for us losing too. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're like, that's a cop-out, but it's not. So let's get into the injury report. Today, Brock Bowers, foot, full practice. And let me get that share on the screen for y'all, man. This is straight from the Raiders website. Shout out to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Raiders. Hold on. We got almost 200 in the room. Get wasted with your effing brother wasted, man. Brock Bowers, full practice today. Devon Diablo, shoulder, full practice. Tommy Eichenberg, knee, full practice. Andre Stay Puff James, the center, elbow, limited practice. Colton Miller, limited practice. It's probably some veteran rest. Guard Jackson Powers Johnson, illness, limited practice. DeCameron Richardson did not practice again with that hamstring. Tyree Wilson, DNP with the hamstring, man. And as we all know, Malcolm Koonce is on a 4-week DL. So, look, man, it's dark days when it comes to our pass rushing room. Dark days. Now, sorry, a little indigestion, y'all. Oh, man. So sorry. Baltimore Ravens. Isaiah Isaac, outside linebacker, limited practice. Roquan Smith, limited practice. Kyle Van Noy did not practice eye. I think Kyle Van Noy is going to be out with that eye. That was a pretty gruesome eye injury, man. Pretty gruesome eye injury. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Adam Sweeney said Miller and James, shaking my head. Now, these are 2 vets, right? These are 2 vets. The thing that worries me, I think Andre James is all right. I think that's more of a, letting the vet, get his rest, get iced up, get some treatment. That's more so if that's what it is with him. But I worry about Colton Miller, and I've been saying that all offseason. I worry about Colton Miller. I'm hoping that this isn't his threshold as a player. I'm praying that that's not what's happening with Colton Miller. I am praying. I'm praying because Colton Miller, look, man, he did not look good last week. A lot of that pressure was from Colton Miller's side. Colton Miller was getting harassed last week. And that's from the numbers and the eye test. You have a lot of these numbers where, they say a guy played well, and when you look on the tape, it doesn't really show you. It's not, the two things are not congruent, right? But Thayer Munford played pretty well, considering, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, Colton Miller, man, I'm praying that he gets back to form because he's somebody that we need, man. We cannot be competitive this year with the compromised Colton Miller, man. My guy Intel in a place to be, man. He says you have to give him some time. He's coming back off an injury and he missed a lot of time. And this is what I was saying, Intel. This is what I was saying. So when people were talking about Colton Miller, I said, hey, man, I'm not expecting for Colton Miller to beat Colton Miller right off the bat. I'm not expecting that. Shout out to my brother Intel, the GOAT, man. Keith England in the place to be. I said it after I watched Tyree Wilson play, and I'm telling you, he is a bust. Keith England, listen, man. Bro, look, I never wanted Tyree Wilson. I'll be the first to admit that. You guys all saw my draft day meltdown, my happy dad fueled meltdown. The wasted habit is something that's going down in the annals of YouTube history. I had a complete and utter meltdown. I wanted Jalen Carter or Christian Gonzalez or someone, right? Once Weatherspoon was gone, I said, you know what? Jalen Carter, like your life depended on it. It did not happen. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm not praying on Tyree Wilson's downfall, man. I'm not praying. I'm hoping that I'm 100% right. I'm hoping that Tyree Wilson is everything they said he was. I am praying that happens. I'm a Raider fan first and foremost. I want all these guys to play as best as they can. That's what I want, man. But if I'm being honest, man, it's an uphill battle. And I really don't see why it is an uphill battle, right? Because he has the physical ability. He has the work ethic. He has the people in the building he can lean on. He probably won't ever see a double team as long as Max Crosby's on his roster. He won't see a double team. So I'd have to think there is something there that he has to develop, or it might not be something, whatever's making him not be as successful he needed to be last year. It's something that's not in his tool shed. Now, I think it's a little premature to pass judgment on Tyree Wilson because this is his second year and he didn't really play a whole lot last year in the beginning of the year. He needs to develop. Everybody needs to develop. And I remember people were saying Colton Miller was a scrub in the first year of his career. He didn't develop until year 3. So I'm gonna reserve judgment. Some of these guys flash right off the bat, others don't. We got over 300 in the room. Get wasted. What your brother wasted, man? My guy, Manny, 2K Cruz. I just want to send my prayers to everyone in Southern California with those 3 big wildfires going on right now. Yeah, shout out to everybody in Southern Cal, man. Shout out to everybody in Southern Cal, man. And I hope and pray that all your families are straight and you guys don't lose anything and everybody's all right, man. This is a dubious day. This is a day that will go down in the annals of history. September 11th. Rest in peace, everybody who lost their life over there September 11th. And the people who responded to it afterwards. I remember, looking right over the bridge and seeing, the Twin Towers burn. I remember it like it was yesterday, it's funny. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it has, man. I never forget it. I thought, I thought it was like a movie. I thought it was fake, man. It's crazy, man. I never ever forget it. It changed the world forever. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their life in that. And shout out to everybody, man. But let's get back to the football aspect of things, man. My guy. Never forget when Graf asked you after the Brock Bowers pick and you said, this is effing stupid. LOL. My stream that day was cracking up. Yeah, bro. Look. I told you, East Coast. I told you, bro. Look, I think Brock Bowers was one of the 3 best players in this draft. I really, really, wanted us to get a quarterback because I wanted Antonio Pierce and I wanted Tom Telesco to give this organization and this new reset that we've had. Because we've seen so many resets. We've seen so many resets over the years as Raider fans, right? I want them to give this new reset a new hope. Come in with a new quarterback and hit the ground running. That's what I wanted, right? And then I'm looking at the fact that we got Michael Mayers, and I said, yo, if we got Mayers, we can develop him. We're good. But when I thought about it, I said, you know what, man? Just pick good players. We haven't done a whole lot of that in the past years. Just pick good players in the first round. And Brock Bowers is as a sure thing as you can get, man. You know what I mean? He's like a savings bond. You know what you gonna get. Even if the returns aren't huge, you're gonna get your return some way. You're gonna get your return some way. Man, I'm telling you, man, access wasted. Miller had virtually no action to the offseason and this showed. I'm only concerned with how our offense looked. It's got to be better all around. Well, Axe, if how those two things are not mutually exclusive, bro. They're one and the same. If Colton Miller's not right, this offense isn't going to be right. If Colton Miller's not right, this offense is not going to be right. I'm just here to tell you that, bro. Colton Miller is the most important player on that offensive line. Besides Andre James, if those two guys are playing like ass, the offense ain't going to play well. Nothing's developing downfield. You're not running the ball. Portia Ross. Aiden needs to be playing instead of Gardner. Inaccurate short pass will kill us. You can't make the easy passes. Portia Ross, I think it is very, very premature to make that assessment. I'm gonna be 100% real. It's damn near damn my arm hurts. It's damn near, man. It's damn near like organizational malpractice to make that decision right now. Second game of the year. Let's pump the brakes here. Let's pump the freaking brakes here, man. What the F are we talking about? Redbone, if Tyree is gone or for a significant period of time, it may be time to start talking calls by the end of the season. He's still young, can end up being solid. I'm more worried that he may be injury prone. Look, I was worried about that too. I'm not ever a proponent of drafting a guy who starts out injured, right? I'm also not a proponent of coming up with all of these trade scenarios. Look, there has not been a trade scenario that I've seen that's mentioned with Tyree Wilson's name in it. And until there is, I don't even really want to discuss it, man. East Coast Goodies. I felt you said that, bro. Yo, man, I appreciate you, East Coast, man. But I'm going to be honest. Yo, my dog Graf is in a place to be. Shout out to my dog Graf. Man. I mean, look, like I said, man, it's too early to make that kind of assessment, guys. Now, look, let's get into this, man. Let's get into it. Now, you guys want to careen off into, the quarterback situation. You want to careen off into this and that. I'm just going to tell you right now. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to say it the third time. It is what it is. It is what it is. Wasted, you hear that hot mic? Hondo and the other reporters talking ish. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all want to get into that? We will definitely get into that, yo. Hold on. Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to hear anybody talking about a change at quarterback. For real. Like, you got to build towards something. Yo, my guy, he said, that was my point. You can't expect us to like Super Bowl contenders when the anchor of the offense is rusty. Let's see how we are by week 3. And that's a fact, bro. But you know what? These games, you cannot be throwing these games away, man. You can't be throwing these games away. So, yo, let me hear from you guys, man, because I heard about the hot mic, but I didn't personally hear it. I didn't personally hear it. What were they saying? What were they saying? Hey, man, I'm not talking about Shannon Sharpe neither. We will not get into that over here. This is a PG rated show, damn it. What was going on at the Raiders hot mic? We are not talking about this Shannon Sharpe nonsense. Scarred for life hearing that crap. The F is wrong with you guys, man? What in the Uncle Shay Shay is going on here, man? They said much respect to Shannon Sharpe, man. I love dog. No one cares about that man's life, man. What the hell? The F is going on here? You guys got to come in here. You know what, man? I got whoever brought that up, man. I don't know, bro. It's like 5 of y'all that brought that up.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
You need to sit y'all asses down, man. That's enough of this. The F is going on with y'all. Oh my goodness. Filthy work up in this piece, man. Filthy work. So let me ask y'all a question, man. Shadow Law, he said, talking about my Michelle. Y'all tripping, yo. Yo, y'all about to get freaking blocked. The hell is going on here? Oh my God, man. So let me ask y'all a question real quick. I did not hear what happened with the hot mic. Nobody in the chat can tell me what kind of trash was being talked during that hot mic. I didn't hear it. I had the press conference with the closed captions on. That's what I heard, man. East Coast, you gotta stop. You wildin'. You gotta chill, yo. So y'all don't know what happened with the hot mic. Then we ain't gonna talk about it, damn it. We ain't gonna talk about it. I didn't hear it. Y'all don't know what everybody talking about. I think y'all just want to talk about Shannon Sharpe. You effing degenerates. It's a bunch of effing degenerates in this damn chat. A beat reporter said Gardner about to get his ass kicked. Wait a minute. Hey, yo, listen, bro. Listen, you guys derailed the damn show. Y'all done derailed the show, man. This is the first time I can't believe y'all would do this to me. I'm having some health issues. I ain't feeling the best. And this is how you guys treat me. God! Wow! Unbelievable. Damn it. All right, so look, man, let's get back on track here. Effing nonsense. Thank you, East Coast. Thank you, East Coast. But listen, man. This week, we got the news that nobody from the Raiders will be getting suspended after that little fracas that we had at the end of the game. I'm glad. We're going to need all hands on deck. We're going to need Jack. We're going to need Max. We're going to need everybody, man. We got to bring the house, man, because this is going to be a tough game. We're not going to get too much into that. We got into the injury report. And if you guys haven't heard, I'm sure you have, the Raiders have made a signing to the practice squad. Chaisson and Kai Blue Kelly to the practice squad, man. Now, Chaisson joins the Raiders after he spent 4 seasons with Jacksonville. He was the 20th pick in the first round of 2020. He had a career 57 games, 11 starts. He totaled 72 tackles, 47 solo, 5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, and 2 pass defended. And he's a native of Houston. Chaisson played 3 years at LSU. He finished his college career with 92 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks. He was, a beast in college, and he hadn't lived up to the dream. He was a guy that was included in the trade for, oh my God, superstar corner, Jalen, God damn it, the best corner in football, man. I went to the Rams. What the hell's that boy name, y'all? Florida State. I'm getting old, man. What is that boy name, man? The best corner in football. From that plays for the Rams. What the F is his name, everybody? Jalen Ramsey. Thank you. I am getting old. What the hell is wrong with me? So, this is what happened with Latham, bro. Now, we also brought in another young fella from the Washington Redskins, and Blue is a dog, man. He's a native California man. He's a guy that he was drafted in the 5th round by the Baltimore Ravens in 2023. He spent time with the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Washington Commanders. He appeared in 8 games, recorded 5 tackles, 1 for a loss. He's a native of Las Vegas, so he's from the crib. I love that they brought him home. He spent 4 seasons at Stanford. He had 148 tackles, 26 pass defended, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 1 recovery. Was named second team All Pac-12 as a senior. So he was a productive player in college. He looks like he has a lot of prerequisite skills and speed. It's aggressive. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. These 2 deals they're not knocking my socks off. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When you start talking about Chaisson, he's a kid who seems like he has it all, right? He's our version of he's their version of Tyree Wilson. We brought him in, right? But he's a kid that I feel like can be developed. And when I look at him and I look at the speed and the burst and the things that he has are all of the things that I don't see from Tyree Wilson. I think that he could be developed in an environment like this. Now, right now, I'm not going to jump out the window and say he's going to be the heir apparent, but he's a kid that in this environment, I think this is the best case scenario for him, man. This is the best case scenario for him, man. He said, you still remember the 1960s season like it was yesterday? Yeah, you know what I do? F you. I do. Listen, man, sometimes I have senior moments, man. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not feeling the best today. I'm not. Haven't been feeling great all week. You know what I'm saying? Been going to the doctor. I don't want to get into all of that. Got a whole lot of crap going on. But the one thing that is my outlet is coming here to Raider Nation Unlimited, and here you guys go. The F is wrong with y'all. So, D182, let's get back to it. He goes, Raiders beat reporter was caught on a hot mic at today's press conference, trash talking the team. Gardner's going to get his ass kicked by Baltimore. Hey, bro, look, there's a lot of people in here who feel that way too. There's a lot, bro, Baltimore is no pushover, man. Baltimore is no pushover, man. It's going to be a tough game, but they're not unbeatable, man. There's some things from that offensive line that I was seeing in their game against Kansas City that I think the Raiders can exploit. Their offensive line hasn't spent a whole lot of time together either. They haven't spent a whole lot of time together either. See, that's the thing about offensive line units. The one thing about the Raiders, when we had Gabe Jackson, when we had Kelechi Osemele, when we had Rodney Hudson and we had Donald Penn, was the fact that year after year after year, the nucleus of that line was together. No matter who was at right tackle, the nucleus of that line was together, right? And the guys who came behind them, the John Felicianos of the world, the Denzel Goods of the world, and all them guys, shout out to Denzel Good too, man. Good brother. All those guys, those guys were there. And every year. They play together every year, so you knew what you were going to get. You know what product you were going to get. It's similar to where our defense is playing right now, right? I think the Raiders line at this point, we're not at full strength. We haven't been all offseason. They haven't really been together. And we got a rough go of things the first month of the season with the line that has not been together. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. It is something that is starting to, take shape as an issue. That's why preseason and training camp is so important, man. It is so important. And that's why the health of your team is key. Colton Miller, it was no way he could have been out there with those guys recovering from that shoulder injury. Yeah, and Colton is definitely rusty. Aaron, yeah, he said wasted. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. You guys won't believe this, man. You guys won't believe this. Never did anything. On my children, never done nothing, never smoked, nothing. That's not me, man. That ain't me. That ain't never been me. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, When I first got into this, before I would let my beard grow in, y'all didn't know how old I was. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't know. Yeah, man. Never done any of that crap. That is definitely not my thing, man. Yo, the Raiders defense should keep them in close games all season. It's up to the offense to be consistent. And see, that's the issue. And that's the reason why we got to get into the presser, right? I heard Gardner Minshew talking about, getting them in and out of plays faster, getting the ball out, protecting the football, all of those things, right? But the thing about it is that I feel like Luke Getsy is the person who is most he is the most he has the most pressure out of anybody in this Raider organization. I'm going to be 100% real with you, man. I mean 100%. Luke Getsy, and this was the knock on Luke Getsy before he came here, and I want to give him some grace. But Luke Getsy needs to have a better showing this week. Win, lose, or draw. Whether sometimes, listen, it's always about the end result. But when I start talking about how the season's going to go going forward, I remember Devontae Adams saying last year, we had won a couple of games sloppy. And he said it's not always about the outcome. It's about the way it looks too. He goes, my metric is not wins and losses, it's greatness, right? So when you start talking about the Raiders, you start talking about this team. What I want to see is a more cohesive offensive unit. I want to see him scheme guys open. I want to see guys in the middle of the field waiting for the football wide open. You don't see a whole lot of that with Luke Getsy's offense. And that's me being beyond hopeful, man. And listen, James Sheffield, he goes, the big contract with Wilkins, I need to see more. Christian Wilkins played phenomenal. What more did he was wrecking that game? What more do you want to see from him? He played phenomenal, man. Darth Raider, Luke Getsy had 4 to 5 months to prepare for this game and didn't show any creativity. No plays of him scheming players open, nothing. Darth Raider, and you are 100% right. And that's what I see. I see a guy who, and I hope I'm wrong. I see a guy that probably shouldn't be an offensive coordinator. I see a guy that probably needs to have one of the elder statesmen on his coaching staff, i.e. a Joe Philbin, looking over his shoulder. And you know what? Been bad. We did look better with Coach Bo, right? Bo Hardigree. Thing with me is I have to give him grace because it's week freaking 2, bro. I have to. And look, the thing with Cliff Kingsbury, the idea of Cliff Kingsbury it's a little better than the production. Now, with a lot of the air raid concepts that he runs, when you look at Cliff Kingsbury and you look at how successful he was with the Arizona Cardinals the first year, what you notice is they were like 9-1, like something like that. They won 11 games his first year there. And I'm gonna be real with you, yo. The second half of that season, they start figuring Cliff Kingsbury out. They start figuring him out. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm kind of glad that we didn't get Kingsbury, but I would have liked for them to go into the college ranks, right? I would have liked for them to go to get somebody who was a head coach before, right? I would have liked for them to go to get somebody from Andy Reid's coaching tree, like a really bright play caller, somebody that's a play caller at heart first. This is what we need, man, because this Getsy thing, I'm very, very skeptical. He every week is on the clock until this offense breaks out. Yvette Niles with the $5 holler, the first super of the day. Appreciate you, Niles. Talk that talk. Our offense needs to play like a unit. And that's a fact, Niles. It starts up front. And I know that's a cliche that everyone says. It starts up front, it starts up front, it starts up front. But it's never been more true than with the Raiders. The reason why Gardner Minshew played pretty well last year with Indianapolis is because they protected him. They protected him, man. They really did. And they gave him a chance to really grow into the role as the day in and day out starter. And it paid dividends for them. They were right there at the end. That team played pretty well with having a backup. And I think player for player, we have better skill position players than Indianapolis does. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sam live. If the offense keeps struggling like this, what week do we get rid of him and get a new offensive coordinator? I don't think that's a move that's made. I don't think that's a move that's just made in a vacuum, right? Like I think that, if you have someone on that's serving another purpose, like say for instance, back in the day, right, when we used to have Flip here, D Filippo, and he was the quarterback coach for DC, and DC liked him, right? And our offensive coordinator was a guy that Musgrave was a guy that DC didn't like. But the funny thing about it was that we never played better than when we had Musgrave here. Really, Musgrave did a great job. He did a great job, and DC ran him out and brought his guy in, and then that was the end of it, right? But for me, it all depends on who you have in the building, who's familiar with this playbook, who's on this staff that can get these guys' attention, right? So if you have to upgrade a Joe Philbin or somebody like that, I would prefer that. Because sometimes it's not the playbook, but it's the calling of the plays. Mini Buns is going to get his soft ass whooped against the Ravens defense. I'm sorry. You think we played against the defense, against the Chargers? Man, we about to get smoked. No offense, no chance. You tweaking, bro. Lake Show Raider, man, you got to stop being effing negative. I mean, what the F is going on here, man? It wasn't the play call, and they didn't respect the run. So they played too high all game. That took away the deep pass, was crowded the short game. But see, bro, it is about the play call, right? Like, if like 4th and 1, right? You call like a it's almost like a draw, like a stretch play, a delayed handoff on 4th and 1, right? Instead of running power. Like it's a lot of things. Like, and then also it's a lack of perspective too from the head coach, like not challenging that situation with Trey Tucker. Clearly got the first down. Should have challenged the spot. Going forward at the wrong time. Things like that. But it's the flow of the offense. The run game is only going to be as effective as the situations you put the runner in, man. I'm telling you, man. I mean, and they were open at times. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you. And that, I think that falls at the foot of Gardner Minshew. That definitely falls at the foot of Gardner Minshew. Because at the end of the day, man, you got to take what the defense gives you sometimes. I know that, you want to go deep. You want to show, how great this team plays. But, how great Devontae Adams is. But sometimes you just got to open things up by doing what you got to do, man. You got to open things up by doing what you got to do, man. You got some people saying that the Raiders got destroyed by the Chargers rushing attack, which that's cap. At the end of the game kind of broke open. And a lot of people think that the Ravens are going to just run all over us. But the thing with the Ravens, and it's the thing about Derrick Henry and the thing with Lamar Jackson, the kind of running back that Derrick Henry is the kind of running back who needs at least 25 to 30 carries a game to be effective. He's not that guy that, you pass the ball twice and then you go to him on 3rd down, 3rd and short. And then you don't go back to him you have to constantly keep feeding him the ball. And I think Derrick Henry, and that's why I was a little surprised that Derrick Henry went to Baltimore. Now, Baltimore is a chance for him to win, and I get it, right? But I was a little surprised because you got a superstar quarterback there who needs the football. And a lot of the times, Derrick Henry's the kind of running back where you got to continuously feed him the ball. He's got to be the featured running back in his offense for him to get effective. And Baltimore does not seem to be doing that. They're not, maybe this is just, try to get to the playoffs and let Derrick Henry loose. But that's some of the issues with having that kind of dominant back like that is a big guy that doesn't catch the football out of the backfield, who's a bruiser. It's great to have him, right? But it's hard to get those guys going, right? So if it all depends on how Todd Monken calls this game, man. Because if he starts getting tricky and trying to do some of the stuff he does with Lamar, you might not get a heaping helping of Derrick Henry, man. My guy, Terry Ogden, with a $2 holler. The Commanders' offense didn't look that great either. No, not at all. I mean, they got a rookie at quarterback. They don't really got a lot of players. So, let's pump the brakes. It's week 1. Let's see. Yeah, Todd Dowling definitely was awful, bro. That's DC boy. That's what he wanted. Hey, the things that make you laugh make you cry sometimes, man. Something that make you laugh or make you cry. My guy, Sniper Jones. Snipe, what's up, bro? People need to chill. As a starting unit, those reps weren't always there in camp due to the health of having players out. Coaches also need the reps. Everyone relax. Salute, Wasted. It's been a minute. Appreciate you for pulling up. Where you been, my brother? Look, Snipe, I agree with you when it comes to the players, but when it comes to Luke Getsy, he's had all offseason, right? He's not out there executing. Those players are executing. His scheme should be installed. He should call the plays, and I'm sure these guys are professional football players. If he calls the right plays to get these guys in the right position, it's going to show on Sunday. It's going to show by who's open. Now, if the player doesn't execute and he dropped the football or whatever, or it's a bad errant throw, that's different. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing guys running into each other and all kinds of crap, man. Telling you right now. Like Luke Getsy, this was a problem in Chicago for 2 years. This was a problem in Chicago, and I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it. Now, Giovanni B, we can't run him out of town. He's a major, major part of this team. He's the offensive coordinator. So now, like, you run him out of town, and do you still use his playbook? Like, you have to. We can't run anybody out of town after week 1. We just can't. We just can't. Guys, you know what, man? I think I'm rambling a little bit. I need a cup of coffee, man. Definitely need a cup of coffee. Hey, yo, and this stream has been powered by BetUS. Shout out to BetUS. Shout out to BetUS, man. Shout out to BetUS. I gotta call my wife, man. Shout out to Bet. Hey, what's up, babe? I need a cup of coffee, please.
Wait, what'd you say?
I need a cup of coffee. I'm on the air.
Okay, got you.
Thank you. Yeah, but BetUS, man. You talk about conservative play calling. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, look, if the offensive line isn't holding up, I get it. I understand, man. Now, one glaring omission that I've seen from guys that were practicing is Jackson Powers Johnson. Now, I'm not on the kid's case, but this is one of the things I was worried about too, right? This is yet another guy who had injury concerns coming out of college. God damn it. Damn it. I keep messing that up too, yo. You know, you guys are absolutely right. I keep messing that up. The F. Nasty work, man. It's like this is nasty work, man. I gotta start having this thing up, man. Hate how the offense made the defense look worse than it really was. Our defense did its job. This offense is not going to get going against the Ravens defense. We just got to move on to Carolina. No, Joe, I don't agree, man. I don't agree. Like, I feel like if the offensive line holds up and you play within yourself and you play balanced offense, you can move the football. You can move the football if you play within yourself and you can move the ball. Like, bro, I'm not expecting for us to open up a fresh can and whip ass. I'm not throwing in the white flag. I'm not doing it. Do I think it's going to be a tough win? Yeah, it's going to be a tough win. The Raiders historically in 1 o'clock games on the East Coast have been terrible, man. Yo, I'm going to pull a stat up. I'm going to pull a stat up for y'all. East Coast. Wait, history. Wait, hold on. We're going to pull this up. Raiders 1 o'clock games, East Coast. Win-loss history. This is something I wasn't even planning on getting into on the show, but we have been, man, let me tell y'all, man, we have not done well in 1 o'clock games on the East Coast, man. We have not done well, man. I gotta find that stat for you, yo. Win-loss game last 25 games, right? So, in a lot of these games, man, this is just our win-loss game in the last 25 games. I'm trying to find the East Coast games, though, right? So at Miami, loss. We had a win in Las Vegas versus the New York Jets. At Detroit, that was a night game, loss, right? Chicago loss versus New England at home. Pittsburgh, East Coast, 1 o'clock game, loss. Buffalo, loss. Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock game, loss. This is the last 25 games. This is just the last. Indianapolis, 2023, yeah. We lost by 3 points. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been ugly the last 25 games. And then before that, historically, man, I can't find that stat. I'll find it. But we have a terrible win-loss record at 1 o'clock. That's one of the reasons why I heard Coach AP today has had the guys getting up at 6 a.m. to get them ready, get their bodies ready, right? But that has very, very little to do with it, man. That's very little to do with it, man. It's getting your body ready. But, yo, once you get your body ready, right, are you bringing them guys out there? Are they prepared from your end, from your perspective as a coach? Are you prepared? And that's the thing I question, right? Like, I don't have a problem with Antonio Pierce. It's too early. But is Antonio Pierce, Luke Getsy, and company, are they ready? My guy, Mr. Rogers with the $5 holler, man. I'm good with 2-2 record to start the first quarter of the season and take off from there. And I'm hoping so. But the thing is, look, bro, you're talking about losing to the Chargers, right? Playing the Ravens, 1 o'clock game. Playing Carolina, that's not really a gimme either. Everybody thinks it is, but it's not, right? And then having to play the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns are no punks. The Cleveland Browns are no punks. My guy Oscar Ponce, I never liked the Getsy move, but if he doesn't correct the course of the season, we can expect a top 5 pick, which is good because we can get our QB of the future. But it's bad because we got a bad season. But bro, this is my problem with that too, right? Quarterbacks are, top 5 picks are what they are, right? But the difference in whether they'll be successful or not is whether they have the weapons, are they being protected, and do they have the right person to cultivate and nurture that talent? That is job one right there. That's job one, right? So when you look at what Patrick Mahomes looks like, right? Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes without Andy Reid. Brock Purdy. Look at Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. He's the last pick in the draft, and he's now a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League statistically. Seriously. So, look, man, it's about the play callers, man. It's not, it's not where you take a quarterback all the time. It's not where you take them. It's, thank you, sweetie. Hey, babe, appreciate it, baby. Mm-hmm. Yo, it's not where you take them. It's if you took the right player. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Shout out to my wife, man. Shout out to my wife. What a great cup of coffee, man. I needed it. But yo, it's about how you develop that guy. You got I was touching on this the last show, right? There are a lot of players. There are a lot of players, man, that in a sense where when you look at it, you say to yourself, you go, damn, this he's balling, man. I wonder where they took him at, right? You look at Josh Allen. You took Josh Allen at 12. You took Jalen Hurts in the second round. Jalen Hurts is balling, right? Now, you have some guys like Baker Mayfield's the number 1 pick. Joe Burrow's the number 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes, 10th pick. Jordan Love, pick number 26. So when you see these guys, you're saying to yourself, yeah, they're first round pick. Oh, they got it right. But how did they get it right? Who developed these talents, right? So then you start thinking, Brock Purdy, 7th rounder. Who developed these guys? And then you got to start looking and say, damn, Kyle Shanahan had him. Then LaFleur had him. And you see CJ Stroud, even though he was a top pick, then you look, Bobby Slowick got him, right? Slowick got him balling. Right? You when you start really piecing the pieces together, man, it's more the offensive mind that you have in the building is almost as important as the player. Like look at Jared Goff and Ben Johnson. Look at Jared Goff and Ben Johnson. I mean, look at that. Look at Jared Goff and Ben Johnson, bro. Ben Johnson, let me tell y'all something, man. Ben Johnson, bro, is phenomenal. And I'm gonna be real, man. You know, and I shout out to my OG, man. He's bringing it back to a Raider perspective. Yo, because I can see it on my screen. Back to a Raider perspective. Rich Gannon. What was Rich Gannon before he got with an innovative offensive mind like Gruden at the time? What was he before that? Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are a lot of people who don't like Eric Bieniemy and they badmouth Eric Bieniemy. But I would have preferred to have Eric Bieniemy here than Luke Getsy. 100%. 100%. Now, there were all these names that everyone's throwing out. They're throwing out Cam Ward. They're throwing out Shedeur Sanders. Drew Allar is a guy that's a personal favorite of mine, right? We're throwing all these names around. You have to really sit back and allow this college season to play out. We got to see who's available, see who's injured, see who's not. People say that this quarterback draft isn't as good as the last year's draft. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, you got Quinn Ewers, all these guys. You start talking about these guys. You got, Carson Beck. Let's let it play out. You know, like Drew Allar to me is a big kid. They compare him to Josh Allen. He's not like as athletic as Josh Allen though, but he got a big arm. Carson Beck looks the part. Like Carson Beck, the thing with Carson Beck is I get a little leery of those Georgia guys because they have so much talent around them. You know what I mean? How well is that going to translate when they don't have, guys that are that good around them or guys that are way better and, the competition is a little more congruent, right? I can't hate on Minshew. His O-line was failing him. His running back can't get going. His OC is cheeks. I can't evaluate Minshew at this time. And, bro, this is the funny thing about Gardner Minshew, right? With that loss, you had people calling for Minshew's head, right? Gardner Minshew completed 25 of 33 passes, right? He had a 75.8 completion percentage. That's the highest mark by a QB in a Raiders debut in franchise history. Minimum 30 attempts. That's the highest, right? Now, I know that's bad optics. The Raiders media team, they put that up after the game, and nobody wanted to hear that crap after the game. But Gardner Minshew is not the problem. The one thing Gardner Minshew did was he turned the football over that one time. But for the most part, Gardner Minshew played within himself. He played okay. He was checked down, Charlie, but he took care of the football. I'm just talking about if we're going to talk about numbers, right? People say men lie, numbers lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? Sometimes, numbers can lie, though. Yeah, the eye test to tell you how well somebody played, right? But Gardner Minshew is not the problem, man. Gardner Minshew was not the problem. He's not the problem. I'm putting this is a Luke Getsy and Antonio Pierce special this week. And the thing is, do I want to see us win this week? You're damn right, right? But it's more so about the style of play. It is more so about the style of play. It's 100% about the style of play. I want to see a team that is cohesive and moves the damn ball. You know, and yeah, Ken Rowan. I want to, I'm waiting for the all 22 of the game to come out. I got to take a look. I gotta take a look, man. My guy S. Dot is in the place, man. I'm telling you, full blast wasted that a lot of these dummies do not understand football. They're in their feelings like a woman and not paying attention to the actual logical thing. Well, bro, is water wet? Listen, bro, when you start talking about what the word fan is, right? Fan is the root word of fan is fanatical. It's fanatical behavior, yo. People are not really paying attention, bro. Yo, my guy access wasted. Please tell me you're not a gourmet coffee dude, G. You too real for that. Nah, bro, I'm not. Look, man, I'm cool, man. I don't need gourmet coffee, right? I just need my shit not to be weak. I don't need my coffee all sweet and stuff like that. All I need, yo, is the K cups that we have, the ones from Starbucks, the Colombian joints. I mean the ones from Costco. You know what I'm saying? Little cream, that's it. We good to go, man. Sometimes I drink it black. Yeah, I am not a coffee snob, yo. People say Eric Bieniemy did wonders with the Commanders, but see, bro, you got to realize something too, man. It's not like Eric Bieniemy had the assortment of talent, you know, that he had with Kansas City, bro. It's like, you know, how would Eric Bieniemy look with Jaden Daniels? You know what I'm saying? He has Sam Howell, bro. Like, come on, get a guy a freaking break. But either which way, you can say what you want. I would have rather had Eric Bieniemy than Luke Getsy 100 times out of 100. I have a question, Wasted. If we somehow win next week in Baltimore, does it make what happened last week okay? No. No. No, because look, man, at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to feel better. But the thing is, the way this team is, everything is so touch and go because it is a defensive led football team, right? So we don't have, and this is the thing about having a defensive led football team. You got to get those close wins. You got to get them. You have to get them because when you start looking into all of this, right? If you have a team that has to have a formula to win, you got to get them when the win is in reach. That win was in reach. That win was not that was no impossible dream of a win. That win was in reach. That win was in reach for us, bro. Like, that's the thing that bothers me about it. It was in reach. It was right there, bro. You got to get those because there might be some games where your offense plays bad. We turn the ball over a couple of times and it can get ugly out there, right? And there are other times where, you don't really expect for this team to explode. You expect for them to be the kind of team maybe score you 20 points, maybe. You know? So to me, every win matters this year because they have to plant their flag and turn this thing around either which way. There's so many things that are on the line next season. You have the Devontae Adams contract coming up. Like, yeah, he's under contract, but the contract is so oppressive, right? You're gonna have to restructure him or let him out of the deal. I mean, anything. So when you start looking at that, you start thinking about that, you're like, okay, that's a problem, right? Then you have Patrick Graham. If this team continues to play the way it plays, Patrick Graham is going to be a head coach someday. And that day might come at the end of this year. And what does this defense look like without Graham? What does it look like? I'm trying to tell you something, man. The Raiders have always had this problem because of the fact that we haven't had a significant presence in this organization to keep us consistent and keep us consistently good. like consistently good. Like we take one step forward and then we take 2 steps back. And we don't need that anymore. We need for this thing to keep going up. We need for it to keep moving, keep rising to the top, right? And that's why it's important for us to do well here this year, man. Yo, my guy Demokes, man, with the $5 holler. The Chargers are who they thought they were, and we let them off the hook. You damn right, man. Shout out to Dennis Green, right? Rest in peace to Denny Green. Yeah, man. Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator, Davenport. You know Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator, brother. You know what I'm calling plays, man. You know we don't want to do no Patriot crap like how they did with Matt Patricia. How about uh, how about we have or go get an offensive line players that can run block like we did with Gruden? How Getsy's system work instead of completely throwing out his system out the window. I mean, bro, they have some of these guys in the building though, bro. So when you talk about using an offensive line that can pull, like doing some jumbo stuff, kind of like how they did with John Feliciano, I was really calling for that to get the run going. Like sometimes you got to just say, man, you know what? Y'all know what we doing. Yeah, we running the ball. Stop us. We're going to impose our will on you guys. We're going to impose our will on y'all. We don't give a shit whether you guys care. You know, I don't care what you think. We are running the football on y'all asses. Yo, really quickly too, man. This show has been powered by BetUS. Go on there, check BetUS out. You know, your first bet, you get 150% of your first bet, then 125 on your next two. You know, go on there and check BetUS out, man. Check them out. This show has been powered by BetUS too. Had to get that in. My guy, Jason Demon Hunter, get the 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships, making the Wasted Talent Army grow and grows, man. Yo, J. Roche, that's a fact, man. Yo, rock on to the legend, man. The incomparable legend, Frankie Beverly, the lead singer of Frankie Beverly and Maze, the Detroit native, one of the greats in music history. I know some of y'all might not be into, you know, that kind of music, but Frankie Beverly, man. If you come from my community, my culture, bro, you know Frankie. You grew up on Frankie Beverly and Maze, man. Man, I mean, all the cookouts, all the oh man. Shout out to Frankie Beverly, man. Rock on to Frankie Beverly, man. Real rap, man. What a legend, man. I think he passed away at 77 years old. My guy John Calvin wasted. Can you believe the power rankings that have us sitting at 30 and the Chargers sitting at 12? What the F? Bro, that's the media. Look, I'm going to tell y'all right now. You can take whatever the media say, and I'm going to ball it up, and I can wipe my ass with it. I can care less about the media. I can care less about their stupid power rankings. I can care less about their stupid ass predictions, right? I don't care. They can try to dog the Raiders all they want. F them. We got to go out there and win for real, bro. I don't need all this shit with the media going to continue to keep disrespecting us until we do something about it. Right? They're going to keep continuing. And listen, there are a lot of things that need to be addressed, right? Now, Joe C hit on something that I was thinking about. Ooh, I'm feeling a little weird. I'm about to get off the air pretty soon, man. I don't feel so great. The interior of the Raiders' offensive line is too small. I believe so too, bro. I think it's time for them to put their kid Glaze at right guard, maybe. Put him at right guard. Cody Whitehair, yeah, you know, he is what he is. Look, Cody Whitehair, you know, he got harassed a little bit, but it's not so. It's about the level of physicality. That kid Glaze is a big physical kid. I'd put him at guard, man. Old school Raider, bro. And I don't know. See, the thing I was asking about with Marvin Lewis, bro, and with having all of these we were talking all offseason about how experienced these coaches were behind Antonio Pierce, right? The thing I gotta ask is what the F is going on, bro? What is going on? What are they offering? What tangible are they offering this guy? What tangible are they offering? I gotta ask, what are they offering? What are they on this staff for if they're not helping Antonio Pierce in his maturation as a coach? Yeah, but we got big guys in the building, bro. We got big guys in the building. And I'm gonna be honest with you. They need to start really looking at recalibrating how they're going about their business. They do. You know, like if they're getting manhandled up front, you gotta start sitting people down, man. And with Jackson Powers Johnson, I'm gonna be 100% real. I don't understand what's going on. I don't want to dog the kid out, but I don't know what the hell's going on. Chad, lots of you pissed at Getsy. Guarantees there's some questionables, but the O-line didn't give up plays long enough to develop. We got to improve a seat. And yes, they do. There's a physical issue with this team up front, man. The one thing, back in the days when, you had KO and them guys here is that you knew that the offensive line that we had back then was nasty. It was physical. I know that we're running a zone concept, but running a zone concept does not mean that your team has to be devoid of having any physicality to it. I'm telling you right now. So to me, right, I think the Raiders need to really, really, really look at that left guard position very, very hard. And I know they're paying Andre James, but if Andre James keeps getting manhandled, they might have, bro, and this is just my opinion, right? I think the Raider line of the future is Jackson Powers Johnson at center, Glaze at left guard. If Parham doesn't improve and get more physical, replacing Parham, keeping Mumford at right. And if Colt Miller can round back into form, keep him Colt Miller. It's getting to that point. It's about the trenches, and you can't have. And listen, I know statistically, Andre James is one of the top crush centers in football, but Andre James gets beat up a lot. He gets dogged out a lot, man. Like we had some of those splits, man. When you start looking at how things played out. This weekend with hurries and how many sacks they gave up, man. And I don't want to be hyperbolic, man. I'm gonna do this, and then we gonna get off the air pretty soon. I need to go lay back down. Not feeling the greatest, I'm not feeling the greatest. I haven't been feeling great all week, But I'm gonna pull up some of the numbers. I'm gonna pull up some of the numbers, man. Raider Scout had a lot of this stuff pulled up, man. He had a lot of this stuff pulled up. Shout out to Raider Scout, man. My guy Raider Scout, man. He always brings the smack, man. I love it, man. I love it, man. But when they start, we start talking about what happened up with the trenches, man. Colton Miller gave up 2 sacks, 4 pressures allowed. Cody Whitehair gave up a hit and 5 pressures. Andre James gave up a sack and 3 pressures. Dylan Parham gave up a sack and 2 pressures. And Mumford, a hit and no pressures allowed. Now, Colton Miller, all right. Colton Miller's, nursing an injury, didn't get a whole lot of playing time, didn't have the most complete offseason. But yo, Andre James, man, what the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? Man. But yeah, man, listen, guys. Most centers, they say most centers are the weak spot, and that's not necessarily true, bro. Then that's not necessarily true, man. Listen. When you're getting physically dominated like that all the time, bro, you got to start reassessing who you got up in the front, man. Silver and black. The role of veteran coaches on the staff is probably more like a consultant relationship and will change and evolve as they learn more about the team and coaching needs. for both practice and game day. And Silver Black, and I can understand that. But what I'm saying is you got guys that have developed Antonio Pierce a long time, right? It's the first game of the season, right? I want to see those guys take more of an active role because there's definitely, if I'm being honest, right? There's definitely something with Antonio Pierce where you could see the lack of experience. In certain scenarios, you could see the lack of experience. They need to step up, man. Those older coaches, they're here for a reason. That's one of the reasons why I feel like Antonio got the job, man. Seriously. Rob blacked out. Sanjeet broke down tape on Getsy before the season. He said he's trash. Bears fans warned us Getsy's trash. If it walks and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Look, and I can appreciate that, right? But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of tape that we break down. Situations dictate the outcome, right? The Bear situation might not have been good for Luke Getsy. This situation could possibly be good for him. It's game 2. Listen, I do things in quadrants. I'm going to give him 4 games, right? So if this team can get off in 4 games, especially against one of these better teams, if he can get this offense moving in the right direction this week, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'll give him a reprieve. But if it's just dog shit after 6 weeks, 7 weeks, we already know what we're dealing with. On Q's podcast, Lincoln Kennedy said it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks to develop cohesiveness as a unit. As so many of them did not work together over the sun. Yeah, and Daniel Kim, I spoke about that earlier, man. And see, when we start talking about the Bears, you cannot use the Bears as the real true test of what's going on because we got a whole different players, a bunch of different players, different scheme. We're in a different situation as them. Seriously. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to sit there. I got faith in AP. I have faith in what kind of man he is, right? Now, as a coach, as a play caller and stuff, no, I don't have faith in AP. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I like AP. The team wanted AP. You know what I'm saying? They got him, right? But what he needs to do is he needs to establish the fact that he's their coach and not their homie. And he also needs to lean on the wealth of knowledge and experience he has in that building and the people around him. He needs to lean on that. And he needs to learn. The one thing about AP that I'm more comfortable with than I was with Josh McDaniels is the fact that AP has a level of humility where I think he won't lean into something the way Josh McDaniels will. I feel like AP will change, man. He will change. He will adjust. He will seek knowledge. He will use it and apply it. I think that's why he is where he was. Now, people say that the Bears' offensive unit is better. You guys are tripping, man. They're not better than the Raiders, man. Get the F out of here with that. Yender, get the F out of here with all of that Niner crap. F the Niners. The F out of here, man. Yeah, man. Thank y'all, man. Yeah, look, man, I'm cool, man. I'm getting better, man. Too many people being hyperbolic, but listen, y'all. Rudy, you got to chill with that, man. How you going to just call a guy a bum, man, and nobody's blocking for the guy? Yo, we got over 600 people in the room. I'm rambling on like crazy, man. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. We're going to get out of here, man. Yeah, Frank Jarmilio. See, that's what I'm talking about. All out of timeouts, none left for the fourth quarter. That's terrible. That, to me, that's a lack of experience. That's terrible to me. That's something that cannot happen again, yo. It cannot happen again, bro. It can't happen again. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. You know, that can't happen, bro. You have to, like you go for it on fourth down in the beginning of the game, but when the game is on the line, you don't want to go for it. Things like that. So people talk about trusting the data, right? Sometimes it's about the data, and sometimes it's about the feel of the game. It's about the feel of the game. Now, I know AP didn't have faith in that offense, right? But the thing is that, yo, at Luke Getsy, right? Give me that play where we're gonna get that yard. What play do you have in your book that we know we can go to get a yard? A yard, bro. Now, Rudy, I cannot argue with that. Minshew does have a terrible haircut. He has a Friar Tuck-esque bat cape kind of haircut. It's not the greatest, man. George Hubbard, facts. We're not homeboys. This is all true. Team Raiders. Hey, let's go, AP. Wise decisions are on the rise. I hope so, bro. I hope so. The dark side. Imagine if we lose to the Panthers in week 3. Will we need to fire anyone? No. AP did the same thing in preseason. And yeah, and see, bro, when AP was doing that in the preseason, it didn't worry me and alarm me because I'm thinking he's trying to try something out because the games don't count, right? But you are your habits, right? You are your habits. I was a little concerned, and I said, I'm not going to kill AP for using them timeouts in preseason because maybe he's trying something out. But let me tell you something, bro. There are certain things that are pretty much boilerplate when it comes to being a coach in this league. Clock management is huge. Clock management is huge. It is one of the most important things. That is something that AP needs to master right now. And old school Raider. And I asked the same thing right after the show. That's why I asked, what the hell is Marvin Lewis there for? Did AP ask Marvin Lewis? Did he give him his opinion? I don't think so. But I think if you're on the sideline, you need to. First time on the scribe. Thank you, brother. Fire content, man. Appreciate you. God bless your health, man. And you got another subscriber. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, dog. Thank you, man. John Calvin, man. JT was talking about having scripted plays that scheme players open for must-have situations. Yeah, you could tell we had nothing. Yeah, you could tell, bro. You could tell. And that's some of the stuff where when you start seeing some of these guys like the Ben Johnsons, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing the Kyle Shanahans, the guys like that, they have those in their playbook, man. And we got the players that can execute that. Where is that from Luke Getsy? Where is that? Silverback, man. I have a bigger issue with the 4th down call earlier in the game. By game 1, you should know the center of the line is the weak spot. He had challenges, hard counts, punt options available. D-line is fresh early, highs the weakness. And I think this all goes back to the fact that AP has not been a head coach very long. He's still green. And he needs that. He needs somebody in his ear. Now, you can't. This is the one thing about having too many cooks in the kitchen, right? He needs somebody in his ear now on Wednesday, right? And hopefully it resonates on Sunday, because when Sunday's happening, you can't have anybody in your ear, because now you got too many cooks in the kitchen. And he's the guy who makes the call. He's the guy that's going to lose his job. Now, everybody's going to go with him, right? But Marvin Lewis's career is what it is. Marvin Lewis had a long time being a head coach. He had a long time. He had a really long time. Oh, I got to take this shit. Fuck. Yeah, man. Fucking had to give a bunch of blood today, man. But yeah, man. AP needs to listen to the Tom Coughlin's of the world. He needs to listen, and he needs to have a quality control person to let him know the down and distance, the situations, the probabilities. I'm hearing that they have that, but he hasn't used it much. Man. My guy S. Dot, man. I understand what Kennedy is saying, but when it comes to basic run drives, only one man is replaced. He is not better than Van Roten. And we got the same old sad running game. Now, Dot, this is what's crazy about that. I think that the player, Greg Van Roten is playing all right with the Giants, from what I understand, right? But I just think that it's reps, bro. These guys haven't had enough reps. They didn't play together enough in the preseason. That's why. That's one of the big reasons I was glad that we played these guys in the preseason. I was glad, right? But the thing was, did we get an effective mix of players? And I think you need to start evaluating, how many reps guys have, how many quality reps they're getting in practice, and marrying that to the amount of reps they get in the starting lineup. Now, I know contracts matter and things like that matter, but if you get a guy like DJ Glaze that was balling in the preseason, it might be time to put that kid in. Now, let's wait. It's week 2. Let's wait. Let's see if they can get it all together. My guy Marzell is in a place, man. Even before halftime with 29 seconds left, I feel like you should at least take one shot downfield to see if you can get in the field goal range. I do too, man. These are things veteran coaches do, man. When you're at an opponent's stadium, don't rely on their replays. Another coach in preparation detail. Because they're not going to show you a replay. Listen, if Tom Coughlin still wanted to be a coach, he would be. I think Tom Coughlin is just there to give advice. Tom Coughlin's a Super Bowl winning coach, 2-time Super Bowl winning coach, probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. Tom Coughlin is even in college, at Boston College, he was a hell of a coach at Boston College. Hell of a play caller. Tom Coughlin, you can't have a play. Like, I'm surprised. Like, Marvin Lewis is not as domineering as Tom Coughlin is. Tom Coughlin is a general. Tom Coughlin's in the building. He's the motherfucker. So he's the guy, excuse my language, but that's the guy you got to talk to. You got to talk to him on Wednesday. You can't have Tom Coughlin on your sideline with you, man. It's an all-new offensive scheme for everyone. It's going to take time to adjust. The biggest adjustments are made in between game 1 and 2. I get it, bro. But there's certain things that have nothing to do with the scheme, right? It has everything to do with knowing how to call a game of football IQ. That's what it has. It has everything to do with that. And I'm not seeing that as much as I would love to. If you AP and the offensive coordinator, what's the plan on offense? Do you think AP can't get it down? Do you think Marvin takes over? No, I don't think Marvin takes over, especially on the offensive side of the football. No. And I wouldn't hire Marvin Lewis as my head coach at all. So what's the point of that? We've seen what Marvin Lewis is as a head coach. You're going to be in mediocrity health in perpetuity. Wasted. Do you think we make changes on the O-line already? Or give them some time? I give them some time to gel, but I'm saying I got that kid like a relief pitcher ready to roll. I got him ready to roll because, like, if this is just for me, right? I understand why Cody Whitehair is playing. I get it. Cody Whitehair played for the Bears. He understands the scheme. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. But if Cody Whitehair gets, steamrolled again, you got it, and pause if necessary, we got to put some beef up front. Got to put some beef up front. It is what it is. Glaze is a big dude, man. It's a big dude, man. And Pete, he plays well at guard, but then you gotta have that backup tackle. So if you're gonna do Pete, whatever. But the thing is, you gotta put some physicality up there. Like, to get that running game going, you have to have some more physicality. Cody Whitehair is not the most physical guard. AP was looking confused on that Trey Tucker first. He was looking for a replay, and it wasn't going to be shown. Yeah, and the guys in the box that's up there, they need to be helping him out, man. They need to be helping him out, man. Jenny Castillo, we should indeed switch Parham out for Glaze or Pete at right guard. Hopefully JPJ will hold it down at left guard in the coming weeks. Our interior is weak, and they'll get stronger. Like, see, I'm gonna keep my guy, I'm gonna keep my guy Parham where he's at. I'm gonna keep him at right. I'm gonna keep him there, right? For right now. He's a young player, but for me, left guard, I'm developing that. And what I'll do is I'll sit Cody Whitehair down. And let me tell you something. If Andre James is gonna keep getting dominated like this, Jackson Powers Johnson would be the next move I make towards the end of the season. I will put him at center right now and try to find a way to get out of Andre James's contract. Trade him, whatever. Send him up out of here, especially if the season careens off the cliff. Jackson Powers Johnson is a center. He's a center, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. He's a center, bro. I don't see him being a left guard. Look, there are a lot of people, man, that have made the transition, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give you an example. Like Zach Martin made a transition from college to the NFL. There were a lot of guys that have made transitions. A lot of star players that have done that in this league, right? But I see Jackson Powers Johnson being a center. I see him being a nasty, mean center, man. Hey, Wasted, I'm not sure that you need 20 reps to know how to do a halfback dive. It won't work with the same guys. It's a fact, bro. That's a fact, man. Yo, Rudy the Vet Russo, you about to be unset. What the F is wrong with you, Rudy the Vet Russo? Agree, Wasted. I've always been a supporter of throwing JPJ in at center. He is NFL ready at center. I would just consider it being too early to bench. Yeah, it is too early. Listen, guys, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking about if things don't get turned around in the coming weeks. Like if we're at like week 8 or 9 and Andre James is getting destroyed at center, then it's time to start making some changes. And I don't mean to throw this out here too early in the season. I hate doing that. I hate doing that, man. I hate it. But I'm talking about week 8 or 9. If this is still a problem, if we're still not able to move the ball, if we're horrible up front, you gotta change. You gotta make some changes now, so you know what you have next year. Telling you right now. Telling you right now, man. Dixon Sider. Worst case scenario, we go 4-13 in the top QB pick. I don't even want. Listen, it's week 2. Let's see how. Look, I think this Raven game is going to be very, very telling. This Raven game is going to be very, very telling. We're going to see what kind of team we are. We're going to see whether or not we compete with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Whether we can compete with the big dogs in this league. This is very telling. Like win, lose, or draw is more so about style of play for me with this game. Even if we lose this game and you know, we can kind of start seeing the forest from the trees. It's a close game. You can kind of see what direction you need to do to correct things. If we get taken to the woodshed, then as a fan base and as a team, the Raiders really need to scramble to try to fix things. Even at week 2 or 3. Even at week 2 or 3. Real rap. If these fans get upset because, yeah, bro, look, he's telling his opinion, bro. Guys, you guys understand something. These beat reporters are not fans of the team. They're not fans of the team, bro. They are there to do a job. They're there to give their opinion. They're not fans of the team, bro. They don't have the burden of being, and it's not a burden, but they get paid. Like a lot of these guys, they get into certain markets, they get hired, and that's where they are. If they get sent somewhere else, they'll be there. You know how many people in the media get moved all around? That's very rare when you have a guy who you know is a reporter and they're a fan of a specific team and they tell you, right? Like on ESPN. Mike Greenberg, Greeny is a Jet fan. He makes no bones about it. He is a Jet fan, right? Stephen A. Smith is a fringe football fan. He says he's a Steeler fan. He grew up in the 70s, so he likes the Steelers, right? So he says, but Stephen A. Smith is a provocateur. He's a bum, right? But Mike Greenberg's a bum too. He's annoying. But Mike Greenberg is a Jet fan. I don't need any of these dudes to be a fan of the team. I need them to be real. What is going on here? What's going on in the chat? What is going on? What the F is going on? What is going on here? He said Greeny's a damn loser. Won't waste your time. So what are we talking about? I truly believe I think he could be that too. I think he can be that too, man. What problem do you think is the easiest to fix? I think, really, to be real with you, it's two things. It's two things. I think the problem at guard is the easiest thing to fix. The problem at guard is the easiest. It is, man. You if you take a young, physically talented player and put him in a position where you have an older, broke down guy like Cody Whitehair, and you can develop, that's easy. He's clay. You could just mold that young, talented player. You got to just commit to him, and when he makes mistakes, you can't move him. Right. And also, I think the running game, right? I think that you truly have to commit to the hot hand with the running game. If Madison is moving the ball, that is the guy you gotta roll with him. If Zamir White's moving the ball, that's the guy you gotta roll with. But you can't fall into this pattern of trying to get a guy going that clearly is not seeing the holes. He's clearly, or he's not holding on to the football or whatever. But I think it's all about play calling. I think the Raiders need to come out and commit to the run from the beginning. And listen, and Andre James is a listen. They paid him. I understand it. I get it. They didn't know they were going to get Jackson Powers Johnson, but Andre James is one of the easiest things to fix. If Andre James does not step up, it's time to move on, bro. It's time to move on. And Daniel Kim, yes, Mo is a Raiders fan. Mo is a Raiders fan, but he's a pundit for the Raiders too, so that's a unique thing. Even though he tells the truth. Right? He tells his truth. He tells, and I don't want to speak for Mo, that's my guy, but I'm just saying he tells his truth. He doesn't just go on here and just spew nonsense, right? So I got to give him his credit. What do you change for week 2 if Waste is head coach? What are the areas that we work on this week to prepare? Any roster moves? No. I mean, one thing that I changed, bro, is that I use some more power concepts. Even though it's a zone blocking scheme, you can use some power concepts within that. Right. I think you go a lot more jumbo. I think that you put big men on big men, right? And you try to impose your will on the Ravens because they're coming to play physical. I think the play call and all of this, sleight of the hand shit and, faking and being, no. With the Ravens, you have to meet aggression with aggression. I think the biggest thing, if Waste is the head coach, is I'm going out there and I'm committing to the run right off the bat. I'm committed. I'm not playing soft shoe football. I'm running jumbo packages. I might even bring in an extra lineman and have him as a receiver. That is exactly what I'm doing. Wasted, can you name any team's guards of any year that has a 285-pound guard blocker for them and succeeding against 320-pound bull rushers, defensive tackles? No, and I get it. And I know that you're talking about Dylan Parham. I know that, bro. I know that. This was one of my knocks on them drafting Dylan Parham. Telling you right now, this was one of my issues. Like, the guys in the league are getting bigger now. These guys are not. I remember it was a big deal because the refrigerator Perry back in the 80s was 310. These guys are huge. These guys are small, bro. A lot of these guys we have are small. So when you talk about doing 13 personnel, right, you can have a down lineman, a guard, or one of these guys checking as a tight end. Seriously. Like, this is what you need to start doing. You need to try to impose your will on them. Because let me tell you something, the Ravens are for real up front. The Ravens are for real up front. You got to try to establish the run. People say you can't establish the run. You can establish the run. You definitely can establish the run. I don't want to hear that shit. You can establish the run. You have to commit to it. With a player like Zamir White, too, he's another big running back that you got to give him carries, right? But he's got to earn him carries. Remember that one player from the Steelers who was at defensive tackle, was almost 330 pounds in the mid-2000s? People were saying he was, Casey Hampton? You talk about Casey Hampton, right? Yeah, man. Everybody was saying he was too big. Now all these guys are these dudes are 6'8", 3. You got all these guys they pulling off of the football field and beefing them up. They say persistence is genius in disguise, but you cannot abandon the run, bro. You can't, especially with the Ravens, man. Then you're gonna be dropping back, and they're gonna just be teeing off. They're gonna pin their ears back, and they're gonna blow Gardner Minshew up. You gotta low key protect Gardner Minshew. He's a little guy. You know what I'm saying? When he sells that play action pass, if you're dropping back 35 times with Gardner Minshew, you're gonna lose. You are gonna lose, man. Yeah, Madison did look better than Zamir White because he scored a touchdown, but I don't necessarily believe that to be the case, right? Listen, I'm calm right now. We lose, I'm gonna lose it. Maybe, bro. Maybe. I love the Bears pick, but the minute they committed to James, Minshew, and AOC, the drafting strategy had to be Fuaga and JPJ, bro. And look, man, the way I look at building a team, I feel like defensive line was taken care of. You addressed that in free agency. You got one of the better players at his position to go along with Max Crosby. You got Koonce, you got all these guys, right? Okay, we're good there. I believe the next thing you do is you attack the offensive line. You go and go get you some young players up front to go along with the vets that you got that are good. Then you make your way to the secondary, right? And you build the team out because you want to build this team and have as many rookie contracts that are productive before you go and go get your quarterback, whether you go and go get a vet or whether you go and go draft somebody. So it'll allow you to be able to, if you got to draft somebody that's got a lot of talent that you think you could develop and the guy might be a second round pick, when you have a good team around that guy and you have a good offensive mind in the building that can cultivate that, that is a better scenario to be in than going out here and being terrible and having everyone leave the building and just starting all over again and having a lame duck coach, right? New offensive coordinator that you're not really that sure about. And then you go out there and go get a young quarterback and bring him into a place where the cupboards are bare with no talent. He's getting beat. And you don't maximize the fact that he's on a rookie deal. The ideal situation is to look at what's worked before, right? So you look at what the Chiefs did. Chiefs had a good football team when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. They had Alex Smith at quarterback, a decent quarterback, right? They were making the playoffs, and Alex Smith was kicking our ass. Travis Kelce was already there. Tyreek Hill was there, right? They came in there, they let him sit, he got the plays down, and they saw all of that talent in practice. And once he hit the ground running. That is the way you develop a team. You look at the Niners, man. The Niners developed that team. That team just drafting well, free agent moves like Trent Williams, shoring him up, getting him there. Man, drafting Fred Warner, where we passed on Fred Warner, which pisses me off, right? Just shoring up that team, drafting Deebo Samuels, drafting Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? Having George Kittle's in the building, drafting him, bringing him in, developing that guy. Developing all the other guys they have on the line. And then guess what, man? They needed a superstar running back for that scheme, and they went out there and they got the superstar running back, and they paid him quarterback money. And now you're paying him quarterback money, and you're paying your quarterback 7th round money. And you were able to take a 7th rounder, and that guy stepped up and balled. Because he had, if you put Brock Purdy anywhere else in the NFL, he's not succeeding like that. See, the thing that we need to do, we need to make sure up front we're solid on both sides of the ball. We need to make sure that we have the offensive play caller to develop and cultivate a young quarterback. And if we can do that, man, I think the Raiders can turn it around relatively quickly. So, listen, going into the game, we're going to do the game breakdown. Me and Graf going to link up and do that. You know what I mean? I'm going to go lay down. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'll read a couple more of your comments, and then we're going to get out of here. This show has been sponsored by BetUS. I'm sorry for the low energy. I'm just not feeling my best right now, y'all. What I don't understand is why you have $35 million in cap space. We couldn't re-sign Jacobs. He was a big part of this team and a vital part of the locker room. Look, you got to understand something about Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, at some point, and if you've heard some of the reports, Josh Jacobs he probably didn't feel like he wanted to be here. And then you can't commit that kind of money to a running back. You can't commit that kind of money to a running back when he's not the one. Like you can pay a running back, right? I want us to franchise him to see if we can build on what he did last year, right? But you cannot you cannot pay a running back in a situation where you're paying him like a damn quarterback and the rest of the team is rudderless and you have all these other holes. Can't do that. You can't have that. It can't be. This team is not a running back away from competing for a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something. People talk about Bill Musgrave. I see y'all in the chat talking about Bill Musgrave. Hey, you know what I liked about Bill Musgrave? Bill Musgrave knew how to scheme that run up. He definitely knew how to scheme that run up. He definitely knew. And the wasted word of the day is intractability. The trait of being hard to influence or to control. Intractability is the wasted word of the day. And look, I'm going to tell you guys something. I was looking for that one. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't want to be influenced by the negativity, right? I don't want to be controlled by the negativity. I'm going to go into this game. I'm going to keep my football mind open. I understand that it's a very good possibility that we can lose this. But I'm going to keep the faith, man. I think we can win this football game, man. But the thing is, up front, it all starts up front for the Raiders offensively. It all starts with them playing ball control. And the reason why you got to establish the run to win this football game is because we know we don't have some explosive offense throwing the football. You've got to keep the defense on the sideline from time to time. We gave this game up because this defense was tired. They were on the field too much, right? And that's what you want for Baltimore. You want their defense to be tired. Now, a lot of people say we're too small in the interior of this offensive line, and I feel we are. And they're running zone and all of that. And that doesn't mean you got to have small linemen to run a zone scheme. It doesn't mean that. We need to be a little more physical up front. So look, man, let's hope this game goes better. This show has been powered to you by BetUS. 150% of your first deposit, 125% of your next two. Going over there to BetUS, use the code for BetUS, man. Use that code, man. Use that code. BetUS, man. YouTube 150 is the code. Go over there and use that bet. And I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, man, fast and easy withdrawal deposits of deposits and everything, man. BetUS. But y'all, listen, y'all have a great night. Can't Get Right is about to get unceremoniously blocked. And I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Love all of y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little better, man. Y'all have a terrific night. And man, like I always say, man.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Damn right, man. The price is going up, man. We need this dub like we need oxygen, baby. I'll see y'all tomorrow.